can be discerned quite easily. In every step they have a spring, their day goes yay and woo and zing. Fluffy, crispy, lovely things, for tea-time queens and dinner kings. Their smiles could launch 1,000 shits, and all because they're having chits. McCain, happy days.
If you're unhappy with your appearance, you could change it. If it affects your confidence, you could overcome it. If it makes you feel self-conscious, you could take control with cosmetic surgery or dentistry from the Hospital Group. So if other self-improvement methods haven't worked, talk to the experts. And just like thousands of others, start seeing the new you. Find out more today at thehospitalgroup.org.
Feed your curiosity. Enjoy Alpro Almond.
People say, well, my sensitivity's come back. And you say, well, are you still using the sensitive toothpaste? And I say, no, because my sensitivity went. You say, well, keep using your toothpaste. Brush twice a day with Sensodyne, desensitising toothpaste, and you will see a reduction in your sensitivity. It's not a one-off treatment. It makes sense to me to keep it topped up and keep the sensitivity away.
Blinkbox Music sponsors the big reunion.
In the early noughties, A1 were riding the crest of a pop wave. With millions of adoring fans across the globe, the foursome dominated the charts. But they disappeared from the spotlight after a sensational walkout by founding member Paul. Now, 12 years after the split, Mark, Ben and Christian are still coming to terms with the loss of their pop crown. After A1 ended, Christian returned home to Norway, where he carved out a solo career, notching up 3 hit albums and 3 #1 singles. Now he lives in Oslo with his 22-year-old girlfriend Martina.
When I met Christian, I didn't know that much about A1, and I heard a couple of their hits, and it's really nice. And the dancing.
You enjoy the dancing? Great.
Yeah.
I don't. It's going to be, back together. Officially, A1 back in the UK. It's exciting.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, it'll be good for us. And a way to sort of, well, not end, because it might not be the end, but at least have these final chapters of A1 be a very positive thing.
Back in the UK, after abandoning his solo ambitions, Mark plays gigs with his parents' band. As he'd always hoped, his audience has matured beyond teenage girls.
It's not that different to doing Hyde Park or Wembley Arena or Royal Albert Hall. It's not that different, honestly, really. At the end of the day, just love playing to a great crowd, really friendly crowd. And this is where I came from. This is my background, and I'm always happy to just play with them whenever I can. That's all right. That's all right. Come on in. Say hello.
After A1 fizzled out, Mark traded in the celebrity lifestyle to move back with his mum and dad in Surrey.
We never really had a chance to sort of tell our story, and I think from the fans' perspective, we were kind of there, and then we just disappeared, and I don't think they ever really knew why Paul left. The one thing I can kind of take away from it straight away is just to have the chance to kind of tell the fans what was really going on.
A few things,
yeah,
I suppose.
Well, a part of me feels like I have to leave all that. Well, not leave it behind, because I'll always be really grateful for it.
Appreciate it, because they were fantastic times, but I think you need to take a step forward and do something different.
Yeah.
Like Christian, Ben also shares his home with his 22-year-old girlfriend, ex-Miss Norway, Sarah.
Do you think it'll be strange having that media attention again? People like, I don't know,
I don't know.
stuck
I mean,
in the street?
Yeah, that kind of side of things I think is going to be not a pain, but I think it's going to be just sort of readdressing and again what it used to be like. But I think the fun part of it is obviously actually doing stuff in the UK that, you know, my family and friends can see. And it'll be fun for you, won't it, to come along to the gigs with your banner.
I'll be the groupie.
Throw knickers. I'll be like, oh, whose are these? Oh, Sarah's. Extra large. No. I'm joking, I'm joking.
The Norwegians just love Ben. 2 years ago, the twinkle-toed, boy-faced wonder romped into second place in their version of Strictly Come Dancing. Today, he's a successful music producer, working at his home studio for the likes of Craig David, Robin Thicke and Alexandra Burke.
I basically live in this studio. I work here day in, day out. I have all sorts of different artists coming through, from Bo Bruce to Boyzone to I've done some tracks with Robin Thicke. They go and have a lot of fun with it, touring and stuff. And then I sit back in this studio while everyone else goes and have fun with the tracks. That's actually pretty good. Perfect.
Throughout the 1990s, the sweet sounds of Eternal dominated the charts. But the highs couldn't last always and forever, as resentment resulted in a bitter split that's still unresolved today. Since their separation 15 years ago, the sisters and Kelly have not spoken and have all chosen lives far away from the glare of the spotlight.
My gosh, we haven't seen Kelly in, what, 10 years, if not longer?
Has it been 10? I don't even know if it has been 10, to be honest.
Oh my God, I wonder what she's been up to and how life has treated her.
There's always two sides to the story.
We're not really the kind of people to go out and sort of say negative
Tell a
things.
story sort of thing.
Yeah, what does Mum say? If you haven't got anything good to say
nothing
nothing.
at all.
So there you go, hence the Bennett silence for over 15 years, you know.
Kelly has swapped the glamorous life on the road for home life in rural England with her husband Jay and 2 young kids. If a newborn, a toddler and a drum kit weren't enough, Kelly also juggles motherhood with running her own talent agency from the spare room.
Go and play with your animals.
Hiya, hun. Did that contract go off for?
That's all sorted. Yeah, we're all up to date on that.
It's hectic sometimes because we're trying to separate work from home, and that can be a little bit tricky sometimes. I'll chat it through with him and then I'll come back to you. But then you've got to look at the benefits where, you know, I get to spend more time with my children because I do work from home. So at 1 o'clock I'll be dropping Regan to nursery, and then I can come back and then get on with some more work, and then while she's breastfeeding I maybe do payments. It's a bit sort of chaotic, but you know, we make it work. Love you.
And things aren't going to get any calmer for Kelly, as the time approaches to finally speak honestly and openly about the band's past.
There's so many issues to sort of work through. It's going to be really weird. Just being in the same room is going to be weird, and I am nervous about that.
Having entertained millions, lead singer Esther, who was briefly married to Boyzone Shane Lynch, has turned her back on the celebrity lifestyle.
Good morning, Miss Bar. Esther speaking. How may I help you?
Working in a top London hotel spa, the single mum and beauty therapist has swapped deafening screams for depilatory creams.
I needed normality in my life because being in the industry, you're travelling from one country to another, not knowing sort of where you are from one day to another, being given a schedule. As a contrast, it's heaven, really. There have been occasions where people have noticed me and I'm like, okay, what do you do? But they're not really 100% sure. Is that Esther? Nah, she's not working in this hotel. And I'm like, great, because they're like taking a second look.
Like her younger sister, Vernie has also shunned the spotlight and found happiness raising a family with husband Brian.
My kids have not known any of what I've done, which is bizarre because they look at me as just mummy, and everybody else that knows what I've done look at me differently. Yes, Abe? yes, absolutely do that bit. So I've also got to consider them and their lives when I go back into the industry, because then there's, you know, the press that follows that, and I do worry.
But how will putting her apron aside and stepping back on stage affect the family?
You want me to go back to work?
Can't wait.
Oh, really? Why?
I've been waiting 12 years.
Really?
No. I think you've done a fantastic job with the kids. But I think for your own sake, it's probably time that you've done a bit of that kind of work, because you've just been so busy raising these two. I get that, you know. I go back to work on a Monday just for a rest, because the weekends, these kids kill you, you know.
Next time, as the Eternal Girls reunite, it seems the door's still slightly ajar for Louise.
What are you doing, woman? Well, I'm just saying there could be a number 4 right here.
Our new supergroup Fifth Story trade war stories over a glass of bubbly.
When you do this sort of thing, which all of us have done, it's normal life elevated. Apart from when he ruined your career.
Yeah, we know that, Dave. You're not going to let that lie, are you?
And the 3T chaps are on best behaviour as Dad Tito Jackson arrives in town.
I can't believe you had 12 shots.
Yeah, 12 shots, Pops. I'm not exaggerating either. I wish I was. I wanted to see how many I could drink. I thought I was
You don't want to
indestructible.
waste it. My brother's an alcoholic.
I'm not.
I'm watching you.
Potato.
Blinkbox Music sponsors the big reunion.